on the opposing team to maximize those possessions. If you can't deal with pressure, then you would hate to face a team that can run the football like the Bears ran today, or like any team that can run the football and play good defense.
Pat, it's hard to wrap heads around playoff football in Chicago after this last decade or so, but getting the hire right means so much in today's NFL. Ben Johnson has really breathed a belief into this football team. Where do you see that manifest most?
Man, for the most part, with him creating that identity of wanting to control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and again, if they're able to run the football as efficient and at will, like they have been throughout the season, definitely brought that with them.
It is the best running game Chicago has seen in quite some time, the best team they've seen in quite some time, and in turn, an inside track Emery now to the playoffs.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's because something Pat P said just is harking back to the greatest show on turf with the Rams, right? Everyone talked about that team because they were #1 in scoring, but people forget they could run the heck out the football with Marshall Faulk and Holcomb and company, right? But on defense, they were very opportunistic. I think they were like 15th that year in total defense. So the Bears are using the right formula to have success come postseason time, because you're going to need some luck. Let's say turnovers can be forced, but it's half force, half luck, and you need that going in. The fact that you know how to create those gives you that confidence to try to create those, but the fact that they can run when they want to despite the dynamic pieces of that's the key. That's the key ingredient you need to go forward.
You go late 90s, early 2000s. I go even further back. This game, the first time since 1985. I want you to spot shadow a game or two that you're not going to be able to take your eyes off on Sunday.
There's a Final Four matchup that we have here that tells you everything. Steelers versus Buffalo and the Texans versus Colts. Those games will determine a ton right now in the AFC. And I look at the Bills. The Bills can't stop the run, and both their offensive tackles are going to miss this ballgame against T.J. Watt and company. So that, to me, look at this. Your top linebacker, your 2 starting tackles, and Curtis Samuel just out there like, hey, man, like I want to play too, but he can't. So that's a bad matchup for the Buffalo Bills. And then on the other side, when you look at Daniel Jones, and we all saw the clip of him barely walking.
Ginger.
Exactly. And they say, oh, yeah, he's good to go. Like hell he is. And now you have the best.
Are as down as we have seen them. The Bills as well. The Ravens can't get it sorted. Your division leaders, all teams that are outside of the Steelers, finding success at this level for the first time in quite some time. Emery Hunt, who do you trust most in the AFC right now?
You know what's funny, Joe? You could take that entire wild card picture and take the top 3 teams in the hunt.
Yeah,
exactly. I don't trust none of those teams in the wild card. The only team I trust right now, based on what I've seen, is probably the Houston Texans.
And you're saying it out of the side of your mouth. They just won 3 games without their starting quarterback. If he comes back and they struggle, we know that defensive unit, man, they don't give up points. You'd be hard-pressed to find 20 against them. In a couple words here, P2, the team you trust the most.
The team I trust the most will probably Pittsburgh Steelers are barely holding on to the division lead right now in the North. The Bills are scratching and clawing to keep their to stay in that spot that they're in right now, because you got a hungry Houston team that actually beat them, so they'll hold the tiebreaker if it comes down to that. And then you got the Chiefs, who you can never really count out as well. So it's going to come down to the wire. But that Pittsburgh and
Welcome to Bills Mafia Wire. This is the moment. The Buffalo Bills are staring at a pivotal crossroads. It's Sunday in Pittsburgh. The Steelers are coming off a shaky stretch. We're battered, bruised, maybe even doubted. But make no mistake, the fight is far from over. We're still breathing. We're still alive. And this game could absolutely define everything for Buffalo's postseason hopes. Let's break it down. The voice on the broadcast said it best. The Bills are breathing, and a win could put them right back in it. They can control their destiny because of the matchups and tiebreakers. This team isn't done. They're in the fight right now. That hit me like a punch, because it's true. We're 7-4, still holding on to a wild card spot, but the margin is thin. Every snap, every read, every block and catch could swing this season. Yes, the challenge is real. The upcoming game against the Pittsburgh Steelers is not a walk in the park. They get a massive boost this week. Veteran Aaron Rodgers is cleared to return from his wrist injury. That raises the ceiling on what Pittsburgh can do, even if their recent offensive struggles make them unpredictable. And here's the rub for us. The Bills will be missing both of their starting offensive tackles. Deion Hawkins and Spencer Brown are out. Protection for Josh Allen may be compromised. Steelers pass rushers like TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith have been terrorizing quarterbacks all season. That's a looming nightmare for our offense. On defense, it's been rough. Our run defense, one of the worst in the league. Recent games, including the 23-19 loss to the Texans, exposed that vulnerability again. But we know who we are. We have playmakers. We have grit. We have heart. And that voice talking about control of destiny, that's what lights the fire under us. Yet there's more. We're not just playing for survival. We're playing to prove something. Critics will say Buffalo doesn't have reliable WR threats. The weapons are inconsistent. The identity is shaky. After mistakes, after turnovers, after pressure. But we still have James Cook gas tank burning. We still have plays to be made. We still have hope. And in a chaotic, unpredictable season across the AFC, we still control our path. A win in Pittsburgh against a returning Rodgers with a depleted O-line on the road, that says more than stats. That says Buffalo fights, Buffalo endures, Buffalo doesn't blink. Imagine the scene. Allen drops back under pressure, Bill's pockets cracked, but he steps up. He sees a surge off the edge, but in the slot, a receiver runs free. Receivers? Yes, maybe not the flashiest, maybe not the deepest elite core in the league, but they run, they fight, they catch. The pass flies, the crowd hushes, the Steelers' pass rush freezes, the ball lands, first down, then another. Momentum, energy, belief. That's not just a play, that's a statement. Bills Mafia, this is not the time to panic, it's the time to roar louder. We've got a scarred offensive line, a bruised defense, but we've got heart, we've got momentum, we've got everything to play for. Against all odds, against the naysayers, against the critics. If you ask me, I believe. I believe in Josh Allen. I believe in this locker room. I believe in Buffalo. This is our resurgence. This is our fight. Win or lose, we ride. Because we are Bills Mafia. We ride together, win or lose. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think the Bills answer the call this Sunday? Do you think they defy the odds and take this game in Pittsburgh, even with injuries and pressure mounting? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you believe, hit that like button. If you're new here, subscribe and ring the bell. Ride with us through every down. Because this season isn't over, not until the final whistle. Bills Mafia, hold your heads high. We're coming for blood, and we're coming to win.